Dana, we're not stupid people. I mean, maybe some people would disagree with that, but we can't even figure this out.
Welcome aboard. You've just stepped into Damn It, Jim, the podcast. My name is Dana Smith, and I'm tasked with the enviable job of steering this ship through another discussion on Star Trek Strange New Worlds. With me, as always, our Rear Admiral of Ample Editing, Dan Calzaretta. Good evening, Dan.
Dana, by the time our listeners hear this, you will be a retired man.
Yeah.
You know, when we were kids, like, high school, in college, I never thought about retirement. That was for old people, Dana.
I figured, quite honestly, that I would be, working until I was 80 or 90 anyways, probably like a Walmart greeter or something, but
Not that there's anything wrong with Walmart greeters, though.
yeah, no, I mean, it's an enviable job. So
do they even have Walmart greeters anymore?
I don't know about where you live, but where we live, there's always somebody standing at the door saying hi to you when you come in.
Yeah, that's just some random guy. It's not. I thought they got rid of the greeters.
They got the blue vest.
Hey, you know how easy it is to get one of those vests? I mean, what would be kind of fun is to just get one of those vests and randomly walk around Walmart and see how many people ask you like where shit is,
You know what'd be great though is they kind of like Costco and stuff, they check your ticket sometimes. You got a lot of stuff.
Yeah, like your receipt.
Yeah, so you go, oh, I think there's an error here. You need to run back and check with the cash, with the person that checked you out.
Yeah.
And I'll watch your cart. So you just hurry back.
Yeah.
And then you take the cart out to your car and
Oh, Dana, look, see, there's already all kinds of videos online about people trying to steal from like Walmart and places. We don't want to encourage that,
Well, I'm just saying, I mean, the stuff's already paid for, so it's not, Is it really stealing?
Well, yeah, you're just not stealing from Walmart.
Yeah, and they're the ones who got the lawyers and stuff, so.
Right. And we're an LLC. So, you do that and you just say Ramble Jar Productions LLC, and they'll be like, oh, okay, all right, you do whatever you want. Hey, can we give you another television? I think I'm pretty sure that's how it works, Dana. I watch a lot of Law and Order, so I'm pretty sure that's right,
Well, yeah, let me know. Let's why don't you try this idea first, and then we'll see how it goes.
Well, you're retired now, so if you had to spend a few nights in jail, I mean, it's not like you're going to lose anything. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Get to meet new people. Yeah.
So. Maybe some of our listeners, you'll meet them in like the holding cell.
It could be a hero, again, you guys do the Jam It Jim podcast. Wow.
So we've so far told people how to steal from Walmart. Not steal, because it's already paid for.
Yeah.
Maybe we should move on. Let's move on. Dana, you're retired almost. By the time people hear this, you're retired.
Yeah.
It's gonna be great, Dana.
Can't wait.
Well, hey, why don't we jump into this, huh?
Yeah, sure.
Unless there's anything else you want to talk about. Anything else we got to talk about?
Oh yeah. I was enjoying talking about me. So that's
okay. I mean, our lives are, let's face it, really fascinating,
Yeah. Why don't we jump to listener comments? Because we got some good comments this week.
Yeah, we do.
So on Facebook, Tim Iyer Swain said she needs more airtime, referring to Erica Ortegas. It says, absolutely love Erica. She's a breath of fresh air on the show and makes it worth watching even more.
Okay.
Peggy Marion had an ongoing conversation with another person, but I really liked her comment. She said, so Gorn are people too? I don't know. Says they spend 2 seasons building them up as completely alien and merciless. Then they go and make one into a friend material. She's sorry this episode fell kind of flat for me.
Yeah, I agree.
And then finally, our good friend Joey Corson said, so a Cicerone and a Greek tailor walk into a bar. And so he says, this was a hilarious episode for you guys. He goes, happy retirement, Dana. Now I want 2 episodes a week.
Ouch.
You can want whatever you want, but doesn't mean it's going to happen. Dan, you have some comments that you received and maybe a phone call or two?
Yeah, so Dana, via YouTube, we received a message from listener Annoying Critic. They quoted some lines from the episode Terrarium, where Ortegas is asking the Gorn some questions. So this is how they write it. Ortegas, are you male? Gorn, disagree. Ortegas, are you female? Gorn, agree. Ortegas, just a couple of girls having a slumber party. And then Annoying Critic writes, why does this show hate me? Yeah. I've asked that question a lot during, especially this season, I would say, Dana.
Yeah.
Dana, we also got several phone calls this week. We want to jump into this episode, so I'm just going to share two of them. First, Dean from Burnaby, BC called. We haven't heard from Dean in a long time, Dana.
Yeah.
Here's what he had to say.
I wanted to thank you guys for reminding me that Commodore Decker was William Wyndham, and then a flash of inspiration. Oh, if Dr. Seth Haslett was the Enterprise doctor. Damn it, Amos, which means Red Jack is Jessica Fletcher. Your red shirt count would go through the roof. Thanks for your podcast and another vote for the joke.
So, Dana, I think he's referring to William Wyndham playing Dr. Seth Haslett in Murder, She Wrote. And he helped Jessica and Amos solve murders, therefore, a lot of dead red shirts. So, that is kind of a high level meta reference, Dana. I really like that.
Wow, that's impressive. I mean, it's nice to know that our listeners function at that high a level. I didn't think they did. So,
well, I think they do, Dana. We don't. That's probably the issue. And then, Dana, we also heard from longtime listener Roxy. Here's what she had to say.
This is the most I've ever laughed at one of your episodes. I laughed so hard I had to take a potty break. For the love of God and all that is holy, please, 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 please tell us the Greek tailor joke next week.
Dan, most of our listeners don't bother to take a potty break. They just keep listening regardless.
All right. Well, Dana, both Roxy and Dean asked for the joke, and several emailers also asked for the joke. So the question is, should I tell it now or at some random point during the show so they don't just tune out right after the listener comments? I'm kind of inclined to just randomly throw it in someplace.
I was thinking randomly throw it in at the end after we sign off. And then,
All right. Well, stay tuned because that joke's coming up. All right, Dana, that's all I have.
As always, thanks again for everybody that wrote in and or called. We always appreciate the phone calls. Dan, what's the Damn It Jim hotline phone number?
Dana, that number is 509-676-6298. Open 24/7, 365, or 366 on leap years. Is next year a leap year? Do you know? It's always an even year, I think. But is it next year?
I have no idea.
It's not till 2028, Dana.
Okay, Dan, here we go. Season 3, Episode 10, New Life and New Civilizations.
Okay, Dana, before we even get started on this thing, I mean, can we just skip to the end? Like the last 10 minutes, could we just do that? Would we be giving short shrift to this? We probably would, giving short shrift to the episode, but okay. All right, let's go. Okay.
Glad you're all on board and excited about this. So
there are some things I'm excited about in this episode.
Oh, good.
The end, especially. But I don't want to ruin it for people. I mean, most people have probably seen it already anyway.
Yeah.
But let's go, I guess. Yeah.
We start with the captain's personal log, stardate 3165.2. After exhausting.
I'm exhausted.
After exhaustive evaluation, Captain Batel has been cleared to return to active duty as the new director of the Starfleet Judge Advocate General's office.
Yeah, what could go wrong here, Dana?
Says, while we knew she couldn't stay on Enterprise forever, it doesn't make saying goodbye any easier.
Yes, it does. It makes it very easy.
So we see Batel beam aboard the ship. Pike gives her a kiss and takes her to his quarters.
Hey, Dana, hold on a second. They're walking down the hall, like hanging on each other. Okay, the captain of the freaking Enterprise, is walking down the hall. She's hanging over him. They walk past a couple of people. They don't even like salute, come to attention. I mean, that seems like that's just not okay.
Nobody salutes or comes to attention on the starships.
Well, they should, Dana. See, that's what I'm saying, I guess. I got a problem with that.
So it takes her to his quarters because he has a party going on for her.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
And so we see everyone's in pretty casual attire, and Scotty shows up in his Scottish dress uniform. So, it's obvious everybody's playing a joke on him.
Hmm.
And he even says, I thought this was going to be a dress formal.
Now, hold on. When you saw that, sorry. When you saw that, here, I wanted to skip to the fucking end, and yet I'm going to continue to interrupt you. You saw his kilt. You have a kilt.
Yeah.
You have Scottish heritage. Did you pause it, look at the kilt? Did it seem like authentic to you?
Oh, it seemed very authentic. Yeah.
That would be cool to know. If we had him on the show, I would ask him that question. And then I'd ask him, do you wear underwear under the kilt? Because everyone wants to know that, Dana.
Yeah, I'll be wearing my kilt to actually, we have our Christmas party this year,
Yeah.
and I'll be wearing my kilt that day.
Do you wear underwear under the kilt?
Not telling. That wool does get kind of scratchy though. So Batel is thanking everyone, and they're all so happy for her. And
Because she's leaving, and they're happy. Finally, maybe we'll get our captain back.
yeah, Pelia makes a comment about a time traveling doctor, and Pike kind of gives her a look.
Obviously, a reference to Doctor Who.
Yeah, and remember we talked about in the other one with the big monster ship.
Yeah.
When they blew up the ship, supposedly you could see like the TARDIS on the side of the ship.
Yeah, I did Google that and looked up some screenshots, and it's in there. Yeah.
Look, that's what happens when you're retired. You've got time to do those types of things.
Yeah, so next week you're going to be able to do those things, Dana.
So Chapel apologizes and says she has to leave to take a communication from Dr. Corby. And he's on an expedition on the bidet system.
The bidet? He's sitting on a bidet somewhere.
maybe it's a practical joke he's playing on her. Yeah, it's bidets.
Oh, bidets, not a bidet. Have you ever used a bidet?
I never have.
With the kilt, it would be easy, I would imagine. No, I've seen them. They've been in places where I've been, but I've always, to be honest, been a little afraid. Like I was just going to make a mess, Some people like them, Dana.
Yeah.
Very comforting and clean, I guess. I don't know.
Yep.
But it seems like you'd still be wet. Like, do you have to still dry off after? Like,
I would think so.
Yeah, because it's like a hose, right? It just kind of squirts you. Is that the idea?
Yeah. I mean, that's the nice thing about a kilt. I mean, that's, with a kilt, you just, you're not wearing underwear, and you just wipe yourself with the inside of the kilt and nobody knows.
I hope you watch that thing. People are thinking right now, thank God this is the last episode that we got to listen to these two jokers for a while.
So anyway, Corby's on an expedition in the bidet system, and Spock says, Kali Kachna. And this causes Batel to give him a strange look. And Spock says, the phrase the Vezda spoke to you, Kali Kachna. And Chapel says, yeah, it turns out it's phonetically almost identical to the name of the city on Skygowan, where Roger is.
Dana, my blood pressure is going up right now.
Let me get this through this so I understand what we're talking about.
Okay, well, I'll stop talking now.
That'd be a miracle. Says followed a lead there. He's been ingratiating himself with the high local cleric. Spock says, do you think that this is a coincidence? And Batel seems like a little shaken. And then she says she doesn't remember it all. So we go to Skygowan.
What the hell kind of name is it, Dana? Skygowan?
Tell you, these writers just don't have any imagination left. So
no, at least they're easier to pronounce than the planets in the original series.
Yeah, so it's a planet of islands and strange diamond-shaped kind of monoliths, kind of either coming up out of the ground or above the ground.
I mean, those are cool looking, I thought.
Yeah. We see Corby, and he says, I wish you could see this place, Christine. A beautiful city full of life and a whole culture built on the belief that the Vezda were gods. He says, if only they knew.
So, Dana, is he talking to her like in real time? What is this, a message he sent? What is going on here, Dana?
But I can't remember. It's been a few days since I watched the episode.
Well, I watched it this afternoon, and I still don't remember, Dana.
But he says, their spiritual high chambers float above the city. It says, from the guarded entrance, you transport up to the higher level. He says, it's taken me weeks to build their trust. He says, but today the local high cleric Zeperez has agreed to take me up.
My God. What? No.
So it says, hopefully he can help us understand what we encountered on Vedia 9. Says maybe even clues about Vezda's so-called immortality.
I thought that the scene, the city, the different kinds of people in the city, I like that part. That was one good thing I can say about this.
So we see Corby and this another Skygowan leading him up to the altar.
Skygowanite. I think they're Skygowanites. This is gonna be an 8-hour episode. That's all I just gonna. I mean, it's the last one. People probably want to hear a lot, Dana.
Yeah, a lot of silence is what they'd like to hear. Meanwhile, on the Enterprise, they find something strange in the transporter.
Did they find remnants of the daughter? Is that what they found, Dana?
No.
Oh.
They found remnants of Gamble.
What?
Yeah.
That's weird. They find his eyes. I think he's looking for those. They got like 2 eyeballs stuck down. Wait, what's this rattling around in here? They open up the thing. Oh.
This explains a lot, yeah. Mabenga says they did a purge of the transporter buffer and all to get rid of that nasty Vezda. We go back to Skygowan. Corby and the Sky go up to the altar where there's a high priest with his back to them. On the ship, they're checking the strangeness that they found in the transporter. And Scotty checks and says, let's see if we can see whose pieces it is. And he finds it's Ensign Gamble. It's the bloke with no eyes. So Mabengal, he says...
Mabengal? I think you just said Mabengal.
Oh, I need to start drinking. He says, whatever it was, it left the ship.
How? Wait, Dana, I watched it just a couple hours ago. And I still have no clue what the hell they're talking about.
So remember, they locked up Vezda in the transporter, in the buffer.
Well, I thought it was in some orb that that he threw up into the air.
Yeah, they did that, but then they put him in the buffer.
Wait, you're expecting me to remember back to make this make sense? See, that's a problem.
Mabenga asks, where did it go? So we go back to Skygowan, and the priest turns around. He's got this big mask on, and he looks at Corby, and he calls him by name. And he says to Corby, the man who wants to live forever. Well, you've come to the right place.
Oh, God, at this point, I did not want any of them to live. Dana, I'm pissed off. I am really pissed off at this episode. I'm very angry right now. Can you tell that?
Yeah, keep working on that.
Okay, I need anger management.
So after the main credits, we see the command team in Pike's ready room. Lon is leading the briefing. She says all signs point to the Vezda having rebuilt Gamble's body and enabled the transporter from inside. And Mabenga asks, how is that even possible?
Yeah. How is it possible, Dana?
Spock replies,
well, the writers needed a way to make this episode work, so they just decided to write some real crazy ass shit that no one is going to believe, especially one of the guys on the Damn It Jim podcast, maybe both.
And Pike asks, where did he go?
Okay, that was a good question. I mean, logical, right?
Yeah. Chapel informs him that Corby's emergency transponder activated 12 hours ago. So does he have one implanted on him?
He must, yeah. But Dana, see, I'm sorry. The Corby bugs me anyway, So if he disappeared, I'd be happy about that. I mean, I like the Irish people a lot. It's not about him being Irish.
Una says at maximum work, they are 11 hours away. So later we see Batel working out with a heavy bag.
Well, that could be taken so many ways, Dana. But you mean it's a punching bag?
It's a punching bag.
Yeah.
She says, we can't let this escape. She says she feels like she's being pulled towards something she can't understand. Yeah, being pulled toward the script that she's reading. On Skygowan.
By the way, sorry, Skygowan, the name.
Yeah.
It reminds me of one of these drug commercials that I see during football games or something. Sky Rizzy, you know that one? Sky Rizzy.
Oh, yeah.
I don't even know what Sky Rizzy is. But Sky Gowan, that's what it reminded me of, like some type of drug.
Something somebody made up that had no imagination.
Someone's got to make up these drug names, though. Do you think they put them through like a test panel to see how people react? Hey, what do you think about this Sky Rizzy? Oh, yeah, I like that one. What do you think about don't shit your pants anymore? Nah, that one's a little. We need something maybe not so descriptive.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I agree. They've got whole marketing teams that just, work on names like that stuff,
And I bet they get paid a lot of money.
Probably more than the writers of this episode. So.
Maybe they had Chat GPT write this. Well, no, they probably could have written a better episode now that I think about it.
So there's Una, Mabenga, Uhura, and Chapel are all walking through the city. They're all dressed like the people there on the planet.
Right.
Chapel says they're so much like Vezda 9. And Uhura says Corby's communicator isn't pinging.
And she says, well, he does have that problem occasionally, but we get him some Sky Gowan, takes care of it right away.
And then he's pinging like crazy. Yeah.
For hours. Yeah, I know, Dana. Even I'm getting frustrated with myself.
So she points to a guarded entry and says, but that's where it went off. You ping a couple times and you go off. Yeah. And, so they say they want to get past the guards, and Lon says she needs a distraction. So Una and Mabenga walk towards the guards. They're like real close. They're acting kind of like they're drunk.
Yeah.
They're like, leaning on each other. And Lon slips behind the guards. And while they're like, the guards kind of step forward as Una and Mabenga get closer, Lon steps behind them unseen.
Yeah.
And does the Vulcan nerve pinch on both guards.
Okay. I thought that was cool that she knows the Vulcan nerve pinch. Great. But Dana, this is the place to transport to the highest chamber of the clerics of the whatever, right? They're going to have two freaking guards who are so easily duped. I mean, you don't even need like a card to scan to get up the freaking. You're just going to walk in. These two guards, knock them out. No one around them is going to be like, oh my God, stop them. Come on, Dana. Do you see why I'm pissed off right now? I'm very pissed off.
I can tell.
Maybe I need to go take some anti-Sky Gowan. Maybe, something to bring me down a little bit, Dana.
There you go. Or go give blood again. That'll help. So Mabenga is surprised that she was able to do the Vulcan nerve pinch.
And that it was so easy that there were only two guards, and maybe they should have had more guards. God.
So then Uhura reminds them what happened on Vezda 9 because they weren't paying attention.
I've already wait. Okay, Vezda 9. Which one was that again?
That was the one where they found Vezda.
Oh, where he lost his eyes. That's the one.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Una just walks past everybody and gets transported up, and everyone else follows. So here's the other thing.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you have guards on the other side of the transporter?
See, I was so pissed off with this other part. I didn't even think about that. That is a great point.
Yeah, so I mean, because the two guys you got downstairs aren't all that swift. You put two more guys up at the top, who maybe can handle themselves a little bit better.
So they get to that upper level.
Yeah.
Not only were there no guards, the one thing I noticed was that no one seemed to even recognize that these strangers had beamed up to that upper floor.
So back on the Enterprise in the science lab, Sam Kirk and his mustache are there with Spock, Scotty, and Pelia.
Man, the whole band is back together for this episode, I'll tell you.
Yeah, and they see that Vezda escaped the buffer, but wonder how he traveled across the quadrant. And Spock says, our experiences on Vezda 9 revealed technologies that exploit interdimensional space. So we go back to
Sky Rizzy.
And Corby is there, and he sees Chapel and the gang. He says, no, you shouldn't have come. He says, Gamble's been taken over by the Vezda. He says, some of the people on this planet, they worship him like he's a god or something. If he commands it, they'll do it. Anything. On the planet, we see the Gamble Vezda is in the town, and he gets everyone's attention. He stands up on this altar type thing, and they all look like they're praying to him as he says, today is the day. Prepare yourself for liberation. And they start chanting, and then people start poking their fucking eyes out, Dan.
Wow. This is the one time where I agreed with what they were doing. I wanted to do the same thing.
I mean, that's a true believer.
It totally is.
I was like, what the? First, because you just see like this woman in front of him kind of like just stick a thing in her eye.
Yeah,
And then you see little by little everybody in the crowd's doing it.
right. Although, if you think about it though, cults can get people to do crazy stuff. Jonestown got all those people to kill themselves. I mean, there were hundreds, right? Hundreds of people.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was wanting some of that Kool-Aid right about now, though, I'll tell you.
Oh my God.
I mean, I don't mean to make fun of it or make light of it because it was horrible what happened.
So on the Enterprise, Pike is called Jim Kirk, and Pike says, we're facing a possible galactic threat. And Kirk says the Farragut is on its way, and Pike says Starfleet's orders are to observe and not interfere.
Well, they kind of blew that one. I don't know if you can tell, but I have some issues with this episode.
Pike says, your captain needs to understand this. And Kirk says, my captain believes the Enterprise and her crew saved her life. She says she owes you one.
And apparently they couldn't get her to come back and deliver that line herself.
Yeah, it's like, why not? Why would you be calling the first officer and not the captain?
Right.
So Scotty asks, what is the plan? And Pike says, rescue the people, kill the Vezda. I just need options.
Okay, rescue the people, kill the Vespas. Perfect, right there.
Yeah. On the planet, Una says, Gamble has taken over the city below, but how do we stop him? And Uhura says, if we could get our hands on one of those orbs. And La'an adds, the kind Vezda was trapped in before, in case you forgot from the other show that was 3-4 weeks before.
Well, I have to admit, I probably forgot that was the case. But are these things just laying around?
Well, Corby points out that there might be more of those orbs, like on the other side, next to the big monolith thing.
Here, another problem I got here, Dana. Why would they even think that? Hey, there might be on the other side of that. Why aren't they on the other side of the freaking galaxy? You know what I'm saying?
I don't know.
No one knows. That's the problem.
So they go to this monolith. It has writings all over it. And Corby says the entity inside Gamble tried to get through here. He says, wherever it was trying to go, it changed. I don't even know what that means. He says, we see the top of the stone is a battle of good versus evil. It's like two of these figures, and one's kind of like got the black eyes, and the other one's got sparkling white eyes. And so Uhura says, some of this is in Swahili.
Sure, makes total sense. Yeah.
And Mabenga steps up and says, a young boy was not yet a man, but his time had come to kill or be killed, a knife in his hands. That doesn't really rhyme.
I got that in a fortune cookie recently from Panda Express. I'm like, whoa, this is really deep or dangerous, one of the two.
Yeah, it's a good thing you got it, not some young boy. I've got a knife in my hands and I got to, kill or be killed.
Yeah, those knives, though, at Panda Express, worthless. You try to cut with them, they break.
So Corby asks, another myth, an epic poem? It's kind of a crappy poem, in my opinion. and Mabenga says, no, it's about me.
What?
And I was like, I almost fell off the couch. I was like, where'd this come from?
Yeah.
Then Mabenga explains, he says, when he was 12, he was attacked and he took a life with a knife. And Una says, this is light years from where you were born. He goes, I delivered the boy to the creature that took his body. He goes, maybe I'm supposed to be here.
Oh my God, Dana. Wow. Wow. Mabenga should have slapped himself at this point.
Well, he turns and faces the stone structure and it scans him. And then the stone
That makes total sense now. Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
we see Gamble is nearby. He was like hanging out back. So he jumps in between Mabenga and everyone else and he blasts everyone back with like a wave of his hands. And then he pushes Mabenga inside the altar and the altar closes. Inside the altar, it looks just like the chamber on Vadia 9.
Yeah, that part I did recognize.
So Gamble says, it's not about you. It is about us. Duality.
Dumbality, Dana.
So this is the beholders constructed this portal so that it cannot be traversed alone.
Were the beholders two Greek tailors by any chance?
So he says, two must pass through. So now we got Thunderdome. Two men enter, one man leave.
Wow.
Gamble says, I retain Gamble's memory doctor. And Gamble turns and blasts this orb that's over like the statue thing that's above them, and it glows.
Dana, I have no words.
That's a first. On the ship, Batel is suddenly stricken with a terrible pain. We see something glowing kind of like white on her forehead.
Yeah, she needed some, I don't know, some Skyrizi cream or something.
I don't know if Sky Rizzy was going to help her with that. And she like falls to the floor, and then she gets back up and her hands are glowing. Then we see her eyes are glowing.
I mean, the glowing eyes are cool. I'd like to have eyes like that. That would be cool to walk around like that.
Next thing we see is Pike, Una, and Lon giving
what, Dana?
Sorry, no. I have Pike, Una, and Lon giving Pike a briefing. So
what's duality?
Yeah. So next we see Una and Lon giving Pike a briefing.
Wait, I thought they were on the planet.
No, they came back.
We didn't even see like they just came back.
Then Chapel calls Pike to sickbay over the speakers so everyone on the freaking ship can hear that something's wrong with Captain Batel.
And they're going, wait, isn't that the chick who was a Gorn? Maybe we should like get some phasers out and go guard that room.
But seriously, it comes over the intercom. It's like, Captain Pike to sickbay. Your girlfriend is sick because she's turning green. So in sickbay, we see Batel's eyes glowing, and Chapel says, I've seen those eyes.
Yeah, in the second pilot of the original series. What was her name and the other dude? They got those eyes.
Yeah. She says it's on the pictograph on the altar. She sees an image and says, this is the bioscan we took of the statue on Vezda 9. And we see Batel is the statue. The statue is her.
No, I am not buying any of this.
But we go back to Skyrizi. Mabenga's in the altar with Gamble, and he says, you need me. Not only did you need me to get in, but you need me to get out. And he says, if I die, you'd be stuck here. Mabenga pulls a knife and goes to cut his own throat.
I wanted to cut my throat, Dana. I really did.
So Gamble attacks him. They wrestle briefly, and then a door opens, and Mabenga pushes Gamble through the door, and the door closes.
Oh, God. Okay.
And Mabenga realizes he's stuck.
Yeah, and he's probably thinking, okay, maybe this is good. I won't get any more lines for the rest of this freaking stupid episode.
Maybe. On the Enterprise, Pike is saying, this doesn't make any sense.
Yes, finally.
I've read the script several times, and it's just not making sense to me.
Finally, a line that makes sense.
So Batel responds, maybe it does.
No, it does not.
She says, maybe it finally makes all the sense in the world. Dan Calzaretta from Damn It Jim, the podcast.
I'm talking to you, mister.
She says, the Gorn, Una's Illyrian blood, the Chimera blossom. You all saved me, but you also changed me.
I'm going to change right now. I got to change my underpants because I crap myself during this show, Dana.
Well, she goes on.
Oh, no. Are we almost done? Do you think we're close?
I think we're like a third of the way through.
Oh, God. Okay.
She says the Vezda are evil, maybe the original evil. What if by hybridizing me,
It's a Greek word, by the way.
all the adaptive characteristics of races that have faced evil, the Gorn, humans, Illyrians, if the Vezda are an evil that predates all our known races, it is possible that all races that came later might hold some genetic memory on how to combat them.
I'm hoping I have no genetic memory of this show, Dana. That's what I'm hoping.
It's transforming me. Pike asks, into what? She responds, some kind of protector. She says, that means I guard, I stay, I never leave.
Dana, did I tell you earlier in this podcast how pissed off I was at this episode? Did I mention that?
This sounds vaguely familiar. Yeah.
Yeah.
So next we see Pike and Batel on the planet, and they're not trying to blend in. They're wearing like their Starfleet uniforms and their cool leather jackets.
Yeah, what's the deal with that?
You got to remember, most people on the planet are blind now, so they can't see them. Who's gonna know?
That's why. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, well, we can go down dressed, as
Mimes. That would really confuse them because they can't see and mimes can't talk. It would actually, that would make the episode so much better if that were the case.
They approach the temple, and Batel walks right up to it and says, "It won't open without Mabenga or Vezda."
Wait, they're on the second floor now?
Yeah, they knew the path.
Yeah, what happened to the guards?
They probably poked their own eyes out. Easy to walk by them now. Pike says Joseph is trapped inside. What do you need to open it? So on the Enterprise, Una is informing everyone of the situation and says, we have to get power to Pike and Batel. And Scotty throws out the idea of a nuclear battery, but Spock dismisses it as it's not enough power. And Peli asks how much power is needed. Spock gives out this crazy number. It's like 33 gazillion megawatts to the 96 power or something like that. It was just like, he said it, my brain just like it crumpled on itself.
It was a lot of power, Dana. More than it takes to, light a light bulb, for example.
Pelia says, that's the power of the Earth's sun. And she says a focus phaser blast from a starship could generate half of that.
Sure. So then what would you do if it was half from one starship?
Una asks, what about two starships?
There we go.
And Spock says phasers are not additive. And Scotty says, no, but they are complementary.
What, like one phaser says something nice about the other phaser? I mean, what? Ooh, you got a nice beam. Well, thank you. Your beam has a nice color. Well, thank you too. We're complementary.
He says, because of the safety protocols, the phasers would have to be fired manually in perfect synchronicity. He says a millisecond off and the whole temple down there goes boom.
That would have been great to see. Would have ended my pain right there.
So next we see Spock explain the plan to Jim Kirk in the lounge, and I'm starting to think Kirk has a drinking problem.
My feeling is he has no problem drinking, Dana.
And Spock suggests a Vulcan mind meld with Kirk so that two people will act as one.
Now, before Kirk said anything, did you have the same thought I had? My thought was Kirk was not going to want Spock to know about all the crazy stuff Kirk has done. And then Kirk says to Spock something like, hey, ignore what happened on that one planet that one time. Don't judge me on that one.
Yeah. Which I thought was funny.
Yeah, that was funny.
So Kirk agrees and Spock does the mind meld. Later on the bridge, everyone is ready. Kirk and Spock respond in tandem when asked if they are ready.
And they're on separate ships at this point.
They move the ships into position. So Una gives the order to fire and they blast the temple. So the door opens and Pike and Batel go through.
But they were like taking their freaking time.
They just like walk through.
But I mean, it's like they kind of look at each other and they say a couple of things, and then they're like looking at their watch. Okay, how much time do we have to waste so we can fill the entire episode? And then, okay, go. And then they walk through.
So inside, Mabenga comes running toward them. And he's wearing like a ceremonial robe now.
Was he really? I totally missed that, Dana.
Yeah.
Where'd he get that?
Just found it laying around. Thought, oh, look, they got my size.
Maybe from one of those dead guys,
Yeah, maybe. Then there's an explosion from the door that Gamble went through. And we see Gamble standing behind. And the explosion knocks down Mabenga. There's like a monster that seems to be eating away at the structure behind Gamble.
Yeah, to try to get out, I guess, or
yeah, what? It was like, this like kind of dragon head behind him thing. So we see Mabenga is unconscious. Gamble steps forward and Gamble says, you and a pet, talking to Batel and calling Pike the pet. He goes, for eons, my people have suffered under your wretched eyes. I don't have eyes now, see? We see what looks like a cut in Batel's stomach and that glows white.
Oh, he like shot some beam at her or something?
Yeah. And Pike steps forward and says, stop it. And a bolt hits Pike and he falls.
Why not just kill him? Why not just kill him, Dana?
Batel can't help Pike. And so she takes another cut. Pike tells her to fight back and she stands. Her hands glow white. Gamble looks a little nervous as his hands seem to smolder. Then we see Pike and Batel in Pike's cabin all of a sudden.
Like not his cabin on the starship, the cabin on Earth.
Like the first cabin that he was in when the show started.
Yeah, in episode 1. And I thought, like, what? Did this skip? What is going on here?
Yeah, I paused. I was like, I had to make sure I was still watching the same episode.
Yeah. This is where they fired the original writers and brought in some other guys and said, "You do whatever you want. We just got to finish this thing."
They kiss, and Pike says, "We made it." And they exchange gifts and they talk about marriage. There's a knock at the door, and Pike thinks it's the Admiral asking him to lead a training exercise. Then we see a puppy, and then we switch and we see a child, and the puppy is now a dog.
Dana, I thought I was like, I thought I took too much Sky Rizzy. I was, what the fuck is going on here?
Yeah, I'm checking my coffee cup thinking, oh man, I spiked my own coffee. I don't even remember. Cats are giving me LSD or something. They talk about his training exercise, the training exercise.
The one where he's supposed to die.
Yeah, and he says, I have so much to live for now.
For the dog. They got a dog now.
Well, and they've got a child.
We hope the child dies some excruciating, painful death. Because every episode that has a kid goes right down the crapper, Dana. And this is no exception to that rule, apparently.
So there's more knocking at the door. So Batel goes to the door and Pike comes through.
What?
He's unscathed from the training. He explains that he did everything he was supposed to do, but the radiation leak never happened.
And she's like, damn, I took out that life insurance policy and and you're not dead. We got this freaking kid, a dog that's, needs some dog Sky Rizzy because it's crapping all over the place. Okay, so what we're supposed to believe here is that they're skipping ahead in time through their life.
Yeah. So there's a knock on the door again, and they see a comet pass.
Actually be a meteorite. I mean, we do need to be accurate about something.
How about they see a shooting star? How's that?
Yeah, still a meteorite, but okay, go ahead. Once again, Dana, I'm so glad we are not in the same room because you would have, in this one, you would maybe have knocked me out. It would not be good.
So then it's later, and Pike and Batel are older. Then there's knocking at the door.
A lot of knocking, Dana. A lot of knocking in this episode. I was watching this episode with my dogs. Every time there was a freaking knock, Dana, they went bananas.
Wow. Pike hears it, but Batel doesn't. And she says, come back to me.
Please don't. Please don't come back. Just stay away.
We see Marie Batel is in bed and Pike by her side. They're very old now. Pike still has great hair, though, by the way.
You know what? He has not lost one follicle of hair.
Yeah, bastard. It's pretty obvious she's dying.
Yeah, from poor writing.
She says, we did it. And he says, I never thought it was possible. And there's another knock at the door. He says he's not leaving her side. And she says, this life was a gift. You've given me everything I needed.
Except a good script.
There's a knock on the door.
And my dog started barking again.
And he pats her hand and walks away, and she dies. Pike goes to the door, and it's Gamble.
With the poked out eyes.
With no eyes and all that. Pike is back in the temple with Gamble and Batel. So the statue that's like in the middle of the room, Gamble blows that up. And creatures come flying through. There's like a hole where the statue was covering. And creatures come flying through, and it's all around them.
The monster kind of things.
Yeah, they're evil, terrible looking. And then Batel's eyes glow, and she says, you will stay. And Gamble says, it's too late to stop me. And the whole room changes around them. All the creatures get sucked back into the orb. Batel says, I am filled with light you cannot vanquish.
I think it was gas. I think she was filled with gas. That's what she was filled with.
And then we get a commercial for Beano. And she glows, and Gamble gets like pulled apart. His body gets sucked into the well where the other monsters went. Then Batel changes and forms the statue that was over the well. Pike is left alone, staring at the statue of the guardian over the well.
Now, do you think that's a septic system, or you think they got some kind of city water there, Dana? Because that's a lot of monsters going down that thing.
Yeah, I think that's septic. If it's city water, they'd have to like block another entrance and stuff, So Later on the Enterprise.
Oh, whoa, hold on. How did he get out?
Well, he had Mabenga.
Did he wake him up? Or, I mean, we don't see any of that.
Yeah. And it's because the writers didn't know how to get from A to B here, or A to Z here.
Or Alpha to Omega, which is Greek.
Wow.
Yeah, and there might be some Greek tailors involved. Maybe it was Greek tailors writing this episode. And they're like, well, right at the episode, we don't even know. What are you talking about, Star Trek? Is that Greek? I don't even know if that's Greek.
It's kind of a mix of Italian and Scottish and Irish or something. But
I was shooting for kind of indistinct Mediterranean kind of accent.
way off. Yeah. So next we see Chapel and Corby. Chapel says it's a perfect time to leave. Maybe get some time together. Corby's like, well, it's also a perfect time to stay.
Oh, on the planet.
Yeah, he says, now that the bad guys are gone and the people can't see down there, I can rob them blind. Quite literally, get it? Rob them blind. So we see Jim Kirk and Spock playing chess.
3D chess.
And Spock says, you and I will remain friends. And Kirk agrees, and Spock says, someday we may even work on the same ship together.
Yeah, I didn't know how to feel about this line.
A little too heavy.
You nailed it right there. It's a little too heavy.
So Spock gets up from the table and leaves with La'an, and Kirk is left sitting alone. Then Sam comes up and sets a drink down and sits at the table with him.
And the mustache, too.
In Pike's quarters, Una pours a couple of drinks for them while Pike sits by the fire. She asks if he wants to talk, and he says, not yet. So later still...
Oh, my... Wait, Dana... It's over, right?
So Pike enters the bridge. He seems kind of, moving slow. And
hungover. He seems hungover.
Yeah. And everyone looks at him as he moves slowly towards the command chair. Spock finally says, Dr. Corby's research on Skygowan has revealed a large number of uncharted planets. So Pike seems to perk up and asks, how many? Lon smiles and says, enough for a 5-year mission. Pike's like, oh, fuck, please, no.
5 more years of this writing, I will not be able to stand it.
Ortega says she's plotted a course for a promising M-class planet.
M-class, odd.
Rarity. Pike looks at the view screen and we see a meteorite pass by.
That was actually a comet.
It looked just like the meteorite we saw earlier.
Here's the thing about that, though, Dana. I mean, to be serious now, they're not in the atmosphere. They're outside of the planet.
So how would they see this?
It's not burning up until it hits the atmosphere, and it didn't look like it was in the atmosphere to me.
Looked like it passed right by them.
Right. And we know these things about meteors, meteorites.
Asteroids.
Skyrizzi. I don't even know what Skyrizzi's for. I have a feeling it's not for pooping or hemorrhoids or anything like that. It probably has nothing to do with Uranus at all. Do you think they would sue us for bringing their name up so much in this episode?
Oh, they're probably thrilled they're getting more advertising for free. So Pike sits in the command chair and Una asks if this is a hit situation. He says it's a new future. It's whatever kind of adventure we want it to be. And Pike says, why don't you take us out, Erica, as fast as you want to go? And we see the ship go to warp. And Dan, that's how this episode ends.
Dana, you have something to share with us about this episode.
Yeah, Dan, there's a point where Pike says, okay, you're talking about a science so advanced, it may as well be magic. He's actually paraphrasing the third law of Arthur C. Clarke, where he says, any sufficient advanced technology is indistinguishable from magic. That's from his book, Profiles of the Future.
If you think about it, I mean, that makes total sense, doesn't it?
Yeah. Do you have any notes about this episode, Dan, you want to share?
I do. You remember the chant that all the Skygowans were doing when Gamble was kind of telling them to poke out their eyes? So the chant is Demitis Tenebris Interitus Vita Clara. And what that means is, with the darkness of destruction gone, behold the bright light. Dana, this is a translation of the entire phrase, but it doesn't correlate word for word in English, as the sentence structure differs from that of the Greek. Tailor joke. No, sorry. Differs from that of the Latin. That's actually a Latin phrase, Dana.
And we all know Latin is not the same as Greek.
It's not. The Latins, they had no sense of humor, Dana. So, and I don't even know if they had tailors, really, let alone 2 of them.
Is there really 2 tailors in the joke?
You're going to have to wait, Dana, to find out. See, you know why I'm putting this joke off for so long, Dana, is I can't actually remember the punchline. I'm hoping the punchline will hit me before we get to the end of the episode.
I remember it. I can walk you through it
Okay.
because you told it to me enough that yeah. Dan, what do you have for themes and dilemmas this week?
So, Dana, the title is New Life and New Civilizations. A great title. But the dilemma is there is nothing new in this episode, Dana. We are getting so many redone episodes in this entire third season, especially. I just don't get it. Isn't this similar to, I think, what Picard went through in Generations when he had a family and they were having a Christmas or
Oh,
something?
yeah.
The writers need to write something new. Go back to taking some chances. Some people hated the musical episode. I loved it. They took a chance. Take some freaking chances. Don't go back, look at old scripts and say we're just going to rewrite this for Strange New Worlds. That's my dilemma, Dana. It's my dilemma. It's not the show's dilemma. How about you? How about a dilemma for you?
They mentioned destiny a few times in here, and so I was wondering if we are controlled by destiny. Do we not have free will? Mabenga talks about destiny. He says he's chosen for this battle, but then he's surpassed by Batel for Batel's destiny. Makes me wonder what they were trying to say about free will and destiny. Okay, Dan, what would Kirk have done?
I don't know, Dana. He would have gone to the writer's room and said, rewrite this freaking episode. What do you think Kirk would have done, Dana?
I think he would have found a way to fight Gamble and maybe create a shield while Batel controlled the evil monsters. He would end up like pushing Gamble down into the well and saving the day.
Actually, that was a pretty good one. That is much better than mine.
Okay, Dan, we're on to the best and worst. I'm really curious what you got for best this week.
I really liked the reference that Pelia made to Doctor Who. And I would love to see a Doctor Who Strange New Worlds crossover, but it would have to be the 10th Doctor with David Tennant. I know it wouldn't make any sense, and Star Trek diehards would lose their absolute shit over this, Dana. But, it'd be them taking a chance, and with good writing, I think it would be a blast. How about a best part for you?
The ongoing story with Batel that we've been talking about for this whole season, it ended differently than I expected. And because it ended differently and because she's gone and we don't have to continue through this into season 4, I liked it. I liked that it was different from what I expected. Do you have another best part, Dan?
I like that Scotty got tricked into the whole captain's table thing and wore the kilt. How about another best part for you, Dana?
The whole crew was involved, and I think they did a pretty good job with each character, giving them enough meat to kind of chew on. Okay, Dan, what about a worse part?
Dana, parts of this episode seem like a bad Marvel movie to me. Superpowers, glowing hands, protectors of the universe. I just don't buy it, Dana. How about a worse part for you?
They rushed through so much, like when they went down to the planet and, they get up to the space where the temple and stuff. It was all just like bam, bam, bam. Just so many things happen. They're trying to get so much into this. I think this actually could have been helped if it was a 2-hour episode. They could have explained so much. They could have, really rounded out some of the events going on. A lot of it just felt rushed, and I was constantly asking what's going on. Do you have another worst part, Dan?
Yeah, the story was really weak. There was way too much going on, too many characters involved. Same thing, Dana. Absolutely. Dana, how about another worst part for you?
They set it up for Mabenga to play a big part, and this whole thing about how he, killed somebody when he was a child, and when he was going inside the temple. I mean, the thing scanned him like, it knew him and let him in, and then nothing happened. It's another thing I think they rushed. They set us up for Mabenga to be a major part of this. Didn't happen.
Dana, why don't we move on to the counts? How about talking too much?
Dan, I just have one, and that's Gamble / Vezda. He was just Gabby for an evil being.
I had two. I had that one that you just mentioned, and then when Batel is going on about the original evil, and maybe they're the original evil and all of their evil stem from them, and blah, 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 blah. I was feeling evil thoughts right then, Dana. So I had two. Do you agree with that?
I can work with that. So that takes us up to 26. Okay, Dan, your favorite dead crewman count?
Well, Dana, can we count Gamble again? Or maybe if we counted half, we could get up to an even number. I don't know. What are your thoughts?
What about Batel?
Is she dead though?
Dead? You have to define dead. She's a statue, for crying out loud.
All right, well, let's count her instead. Yeah, I'm good with that. Let's do that. All right, Dana. Well, that takes us to 19.5. Dana, how about shedding tears?
I have a feeling you did quite a bit. I didn't see anybody else cry. That keeps us at 36, Dan. How about ripped shirts, no shirts? Who was showing skin?
I didn't see any this week, Dana. So, Dana, that leaves us at 19. Dana, how about the supreme being count?
There was none.
What about Batel, though? Doesn't she become kind of the protector of the universe kind of thing?
Oh, man, I think you got it. That takes us up to 6, Dan. Okay, Dan, what about taking over the Enterprise?
I didn't see anyone take over the Enterprise, Dana. Once again, stuck at 6, Dana. What about fights in this episode?
The only one I've got is brief, but Mabenga and Gamble fought briefly.
Well, what about Batel and Gamble? Didn't they also fight?
Did they?
I mean, at the end.
But it was a lot of talk, and then she just like glowed, and he was gone.
It was weak. It was definitely weak.
But I'll count it if you want.
I think we should count them both. What the heck? Let's count them both, Dana.
Okay, it's last episode of the season 3.
Sure, Dana. That brings us to 33 in fights.
So,
Look, you're smart. Look, didn't I ask you the fights?
yeah. It just seems so long ago.
My God. We thought this was going to be clever. Listeners, because we couldn't remember. Here's the reason. Let's just be honest, Dana. We couldn't remember who asked whom. Who asked whom last week. And so we thought, we'll mix it up. We'll alternate. But then we couldn't remember who asked the last question and who's supposed to read the tally. We can't remember that much. We need a break. Dana.
Log drops.
No, we didn't have any log drops, Dana. After all that, no damn log drops.
So we are at 35. So now you want to ask me the last one?
I think I'm asking you the last one. Oh my God. Okay.
See, we should do, if we did this live, people would be like, I didn't realize how stupid those guys were.
I had an inkling. that they may be stupid, but now it's confirmed.
Yeah.
And then Dana, finally, for the last count in all of season 3, Pike cooking.
So Dan, I have 3. In the alternate future, he cooked twice.
Yeah, one of those was a turkey.
Yeah.
It looked good. So Dana, that brings us to a total of 20. Well, Dana, what are your final thoughts on this episode?
Dan, in some ways, I think this was a nice way to end season 3. Yeah, I think I liked this episode a little bit more than you did. It had some neat stuff, had some really stupid stuff, had some very confusing things. Again, like I said, I just think they tried to pack too much into too little time. The whole blasting the temple with the phasers I mentioned seemed like quite the stretch. I like that they brought the Batel story to a close. And I think they did a neat job with that in a way, that she was the savior and stuff. But again, they just belabored the point of, how she became the savior and all this stuff. So interesting, but man, just make her the savior and call it a day. I would have liked to have understood the real evil of Vezda, and how he controlled people and how he had these powers. It's just really glossed over. And then all these blind people on Sky Gowan now. I mean, it's just, that's got to be a crappy planet to be on, everybody bumping into one another. They used the whole cast, like I said, including Sam and his mustache and Jim Kirk. And I think they did a good job of incorporating the cast. But again, it was so confusing at times. And I'm really glad that we didn't have a cliffhanger. I didn't want to wait because I think season 4 is coming out in like 2045 or something like that. But I am looking forward to season 4, Muppet story included. I'm gonna, see what they throw at us. But I think they've set us up to go on some new missions, hopefully get away from the retread of the original series, be new and exciting and adventurous, make it really worth our while. I'll be curious to see what they do with Pelia. I don't know if she's going to stay on the ship. Pike's character continues to evolve, and now what's going to happen with him without Batel? And I'm curious to see if they're going to introduce any other, original series characters. So I think there's a lot to look forward to, especially we're looking forward to the fact that season 3 is over. It was not my favorite season of this series. We've got nowhere to go but up in season 4. What about you, Dan? Do you have any final thoughts on this?
Yeah, I see several problems with this episode, Dana. First, are we expected to care about these characters without enough time spent with them? Second, we only heard about the Vezda once this season. How are we expected to see them as an all-powerful enemy when we have absolutely no background on them? Third, and I am of two minds on this next point, I think the writers took the easy way out by trying to pull on the viewer's heartstrings, especially concerning Pike and Batel. Now, on the other hand, and I admit I am being totally contradictory here, I couldn't help thinking about my life and my loved ones when I saw the part where Pike and Batel grow old together. I thought the writing here was really strong. Like, I think they fired the original writers and hired some new people. If I had just seen this part of the episode, Dana, I would have thought the entire episode was really strong, and I would have wanted to go back and watch the rest of it. But for this episode to be as meaningful as I think the writers wanted it to be, there needed to be a joke, about some Greek tailors in there someplace. I guess when all's said and done, I won't remember what I didn't like about this episode, but I will remember how the show, especially the end, made me feel. Dana, have you seen any of the previews for season 4?
No. Are there previews out there?
Yeah. So in one episode, they go to this planet that has some Greek temples and stuff on it. And they go to the cleaners. No, wait, not the cleaners, the tailors. So a couple of Greek guys go in to see a tailor, Dana. Well, no, it's just one Greek guy. In fact, he doesn't even have to be Greek, the guy. But he goes in to see a Greek tailor. That's how it is. So he goes in to see this Greek tailor. And it's Pike. He goes in, his hair is beautiful and everything. But he tore his uniform. He goes into the Greek tailor and he shows the Greek tailor the tear. And the Greek tailor says to him, "Euripides?" And Pike says, "Yeah, Eumenides." See, Dana, people had to wait for this freaking joke, and it probably wasn't that good to begin with.
And several people are going, wait a minute, he told this joke in season 1 of the original series.
And in season 2 of the original series, and probably several other times after that. But I figure we probably have some new listeners, with Strange New Worlds, don't you think?
Yeah.
Well, Dana, maybe we should let people know what we're up to next.
That's a good question, Dan. What are we up to next?
Well, we are taking a little bit of a break until after the new year, right? I mean, you need time to ease into retirement. We got the holidays coming up. And so we're going to take a break until after the new year. We have decided to do a review of the first 2 episodes, unless we can't make it into the second episode because it's so amazingly horrible, of Starfleet Academy. Well, Dana, this was a lot of fun talking about this episode, and I cannot wait until we get back together again. I hope everyone has a happy and safe holiday, whatever type of holiday that you observe, and we will see you after the new year.
Hey, we want to thank everybody that wrote and or called in, and we have a special request. If you've got comments about any of the seasons of Strange New Worlds, please write us or call and leave a message. We've got some gifts we're planning on giving out in 2026, so if you want to stay tuned, hopefully you might be able to win some Star Trek memorabilia.
Wow, hold on a second. What, are you giving away my Star Trek stuff, Dana?
So, happy holidays to everybody. Until we meet again, live long and prosper.
Thanks once again for listening to Damn It Jim, the podcast. We'd love to hear from you. Please send us an email at dammitjimpodcast@gmail.com or join the discussion on Facebook, Instagram, or YouTube. You can also reach us at the Damn It Jim hotline at 509-676-6298. This podcast was produced by Dan Calzaretta and Dana Smith for Ramble Jar Productions. Editing by Dan Calzaretta. If you would like to be a Damn It Jim sponsor, please send us an email at dammitjimpodcast@gmail.com. Have a great rest of your week, and remember to live long and prosper.